In Japan, one doctor quietly rewrote what it means to age well. Not with pills, not with intense workouts, but with a humble rule that changed everything. Eat to live, not live to eat. That doctor was Shigeaki Hinohara, a man who lived to be 105. He wasn't just a doctor, he was a living example of his own advice. He saw thousands of patients, gave hundreds of lectures, wrote dozens of books, all after turning 60. And his daily choices were surprisingly simple. He ate lightly, walked everywhere, carried his own bags, and worked with joy. No superfoods, no expensive supplements, just purpose, lightness, and a quiet discipline about food. Most people eat too much, he said. They live to eat, but eating should be to help us live. This wasn't about starving. It wasn't about restriction. It was about freedom, from cravings, excess, inflammation, and fatigue. You see, in Japan, eating is not entertainment. It's an act of care, of balance, of harmony with nature. And this mindset starts especially after 60, when the body doesn't need more, it needs better. That's why Japanese elders, even in their 80s and 90s, still walk to the market, cook their meals, share tea with friends, and stay active without gyms. They don't eat until they're full. They eat until they're almost satisfied, a habit known as hara hachi bu. And Dr. Hinohara embodied that. His breakfast was often just coffee, milk, and juice with olive oil. He sometimes skipped lunch. Dinner was light, fish, soup, and a glass of milk. Yet he never lacked energy. He climbed stairs, he gave speeches, he saved lives in the hospital well into his 90s. His secret? He didn't overfeed the body, because he wanted to keep moving. He treated food as fuel, not reward, nourishment, not entertainment. And now, as thousands look to Japan for longevity wisdom, his voice rings clearer than ever. What if we've been doing it backwards all this time? What if aging well isn't about doing more, but eating less with purpose? What if the real diet isn't about counting calories, but about rediscovering simplicity? In this video, we'll explore how Dr. Hinohara's eating philosophy transformed lives. We'll show you what Japanese elders actually eat after 60 and why it works. No hype, no extremes, just the quiet strength of simple food, food that respects your body, food that frees you, not controls you. Let's begin with a deep breath and a fresh look at your next meal through the eyes of Japan's longest living doctor. What if the most powerful health advice wasn't in a supplement, but in how you place your chopsticks on the table? For Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara, food was not a form of entertainment, nor a way to cope with boredom, sadness, or reward. It was fuel, chosen carefully, consumed slowly, with gratitude. He believed that food should serve the body, not enslave it. Most people eat out of habit, not need, he once said. They eat because it's time, not because they're truly hungry. This mindset, so different from Western culture, is rooted in an old Japanese principle, Shindo Fuji, or body and nature are one. In this philosophy, eating is not separate from life. It is part of nature, rhythm, and renewal. Food isn't there to excite your taste buds or fill emotional voids. It's there to sustain your ability to move, think, and give. One of the most important expressions in Okinawan culture is hara hachi bu. It means stop eating when you're 80% full. It's not a diet. It's a daily discipline, a gentle way of saying, enough is enough. This prevents overeating, slows digestion, reduces inflammation, and gives the body space to breathe. In Japan, meals are not oversized. They're beautiful, small, and balanced. Variety is valued more than volume. Dr. Hinohara followed this principle even in old age. He didn't obsess over protein or carbs. He focused on how food made him feel: light, clear, capable, not heavy, sleepy, or sluggish after a meal. He believed that overeating made people age faster, that it weighed down the body and clouded the mind. When you overfeed a machine, he said, it breaks down. When you feed it just enough, it runs beautifully. In Japanese culture, there's no cheat day. There's no guilt around food, because food is never the enemy. It's simply respected, like the seasons. And like the seasons, eating follows a natural cycle of giving and receiving. In this way, the Japanese don't eat less to be thin. They eat less to feel more alive. Meals are seasonal, grounded, designed to support, not seduce. You won't find ultra-processed snacks or sugar-loaded drinks in an elder's kitchen. Dr. Hinohara didn't fear hunger. He trusted his body's signals and respected his limits. This is not about self-denial. It's about self-respect. Eat only what you need. Chew slowly. Stop before you are full. Be thankful. These aren't just tips. They're a daily practice of vitality. So if you're over 60 and wondering how to feel lighter, don't look for what to add to your plate. Start by asking, what would happen if I ate just enough and not a bite more? In many parts of the world, people assume aging means losing appetite, strength, and independence. But in Japan, especially in regions like Okinawa and Nagano, elders still cook their own meals and enjoy them with care. They don't rely on processed foods or meal replacements. Their kitchens are small, quiet, and alive with tradition. Meals are built from fresh seasonal ingredients: a little rice, a little fish, a lot of vegetables, and always tea. There's no rush, no multitasking. Meals are eaten slowly, often in silence or with soft conversation. Most Japanese elders follow a multi-dish format called ichiju sansai. 1 soup, 3 sides. It ensures variety without excess, flavor without overload. They use small bowls and plates to naturally limit portions. But it never feels restrictive, because each bite is satisfying. Fermented foods like miso, natto, and pickles aid digestion and reduce inflammation. Seaweed adds minerals. Tofu provides plant-based protein. These aren't expensive superfoods. They're simple, affordable, and part of daily life. In fact, many elders grow their own vegetables, even in small backyard gardens or pots. Food becomes personal again, and that brings deeper satisfaction. Meals are deeply connected to community. Elders often share dishes with neighbors or family, not through obligation, but warmth. One of the reasons Japanese elders eat so well, even alone, is that they see food as part of their dignity, not their burden. Preparing a meal isn't something they stop doing with age. It's something they keep doing to stay strong. In the West, convenience often replaces skill. But in Japan, even a simple meal is a practice of presence. They boil their own broth, chop their own vegetables, season with intuition, not apps. And by doing so, they stay mobile, mentally sharp, and emotionally balanced. Even breakfast is mindful. Maybe a bowl of rice, some pickled plum, a slice of tamagoyaki, and warm green tea. These meals support energy, not spikes and crashes. They create rhythm, not confusion in the gut or mind. Another key? No constant snacking. Japanese elders often eat just 2 or 3 meals a day, no grazing, no late-night bites, and portions are modest, always respecting the body's signals. Hunger is welcomed, not feared. When they finish eating, they feel light, not bloated, energized, not sleepy. That's the goal, not to feel full, but to feel capable. And all of this, the way they eat, the way they move, the way they prepare, becomes part of why they don't lose their independence at 80 or even 90. They eat like they still belong to life, and life keeps welcoming them back to the table. So if you want to follow their path, you don't need to buy anything. You just need to slow down. Prepare your next meal with hands, not machines. Eat seated, not standing. Chew, don't scroll. And most importantly, eat with gratitude, not guilt. Simplicity is not scarcity, it's power. Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara was no chef, but he knew exactly what to eat and what to avoid to stay healthy at 100 plus. His routine was simple, consistent, and surprisingly light. And yet, he had more energy at 90 than most people have at 40. For breakfast, he often drank a cup of coffee with milk, a glass of orange juice with a spoonful of olive oil, and sometimes a boiled egg or slice of toast. That might sound small, but that's the point. It was just enough. He believed that lightness in the body leads to clarity in the mind, and his days were packed with lectures, hospital rounds, and writing, all fueled by simplicity. He often skipped lunch, claiming it made him feel lighter and more alert. Not every day, but often enough that his body got used to short periods of rest from digestion. And for dinner? Always something gentle, grounding, and nourishing. Dr. Hinohara loved fish, especially grilled or steamed. Not fried, not covered in sauces. Just clean, flavorful, and easy to digest. Alongside the fish, he always included vegetables, steamed, sautéed, or pickled, and a cup of milk, which he believed helped maintain strong bones with age. He also enjoyed tofu, natto, and seasonal root vegetables like daikon and sweet potato. Foods that are gentle on digestion and rich in nutrients. No red meat, no processed food, no sugary snacks. Not because of strict rules, but because he felt better without them. Dr. Hinohara believed that consistency mattered more than quantity. Eating the same few nourishing meals again and again gave him stability. His choices weren't flashy, but they worked. He avoided what he called modern confusion foods, things with long ingredient lists and hidden sugars. Instead, he trusted ingredients that his body recognized. If he didn't know what something was, he didn't eat it. That rule alone kept him away from most ultra-processed snacks. Dr. Hinohara also valued hydration. He drank water, green tea, and barley tea, mujicha, throughout the day. These drinks are caffeine-light, anti-inflammatory, and help regulate digestion and body temperature. No sodas, no artificial juices, no energy drinks. For him, food wasn't meant to stimulate. It was meant to support. Each bite was chosen to help him serve others longer, stay upright, and keep thinking clearly. It wasn't about indulgence, it was about longevity. And that's perhaps the biggest lesson. You don't need 100 different foods to live to 100. You need a few good ones, eaten with gratitude, rhythm, and intention. So if you're wondering where to begin, maybe it starts not with a diet, but with a decision. To eat like food is your ally, not your addiction. To choose foods that lift you up, not weigh you down. That's how Dr. Hinohara lived, and that's how you might live not just longer, but lighter. Many people believe long life is just a matter of luck or genetics. But science tells a different story. Lifestyle matters more than we think. The way we eat, move, and think directly affects our cells, our gut, and even our brain. And Japanese elders, especially those who live past 90, are walking proof of that. Dr. Hinohara didn't just follow tradition. He lived ahead of science, long before research confirmed what his plate already knew. Today we know that chronic inflammation is the root of most age-related diseases, from arthritis to memory loss. And food can either calm or worsen that inflammation. The traditional Japanese diet is naturally anti-inflammatory. It's rich in omega-3s from fish and seaweed, antioxidants from green tea and vegetables, and probiotics from fermented foods like miso and natto. Each of these helps reduce cellular stress, improve digestion, and protect the joints and brain. They keep the gut microbiome balanced, a major key to immune strength and emotional health after 60. And then there's caloric moderation. Eating less, as practiced in Hara Hachibu, has been linked to longer lifespan and lower disease risk in countless studies. When the body isn't overloaded with food, it has more energy for repair. That means better metabolism, clearer skin, sharper memory, and less fatigue. Dr. Hinohara's light breakfasts and modest dinners gave his organs time to rest and restore. It's not fasting in the strict sense. It's gentle balance. And when you pair that with movement, walking, cooking, gardening, the effects are multiplied. Blood flows more freely, muscles stay active, and digestion improves naturally. But there's more. The traditional Japanese plate is also low in sugar and saturated fats. No processed meats, few sweets, and little dairy, except small amounts like the milk Dr. Hinohara drank. That means fewer blood sugar spikes, fewer cravings, and much lower risk of type 2 diabetes or heart disease. The body runs clean, like a well-tuned engine. And remember, fermented foods like miso and natto don't just help the gut. They also support bone density, immune function, and even mood. Modern studies link a healthy microbiome to better memory and less anxiety, something we all need more of after 60. It's food that literally speaks to your brain. Dr. Hinohara may not have used scientific jargon, but he felt the effects in his body and trusted that food was more than calories. He used food to stay light, calm, focused, and connected, and in doing so, he unknowingly aligned with today's best nutritional science. He wasn't concerned with macros or protein tracking. He simply asked, "How do I feel after I eat?" And if the answer was heavy, foggy, or tired, he adjusted. He simplified. He trusted his senses. This union of science and tradition is what makes the Japanese longevity model so powerful. It's not a miracle. It's a method, humble, quiet, and consistent. You don't need supplements or drastic diets. Just real food, eaten slowly, in portions that honor your age and energy. Dr. Hinohara taught us that how we eat is how we live. Fast, distracted, and anxious, or slow, aware, and grateful. His plate wasn't perfect, but it was intentional, and it carried him, with strength, to 105. So next time you sit down to eat, ask yourself, is this helping me heal, or just helping me forget? And let your answer shape the way you nourish the next chapter of your life. The wisdom is in the simple. Not all secrets are hidden. Some sit quietly at the dinner table, in a bowl of soup, a cup of tea, or a meal served with care. We spend years chasing solutions for energy, clarity, and strength, when sometimes the answer is as humble as how we eat. Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara didn't just live long, he lived light. His meals were never about restriction, but respect. Respect for the body, for the seasons, for the food on the plate, and for the act of eating as a moment of healing, not just habit. If you're over 60, you don't need to reinvent everything. You just need to return to what nourishes, in the simplest, most human way. Maybe that means skipping the third snack, or drinking tea instead of soda, or sitting down to eat slowly, without distraction, like the elders in Japan still do every single day. Because every small decision becomes a pattern, and every pattern a future. If this way of eating, light, mindful, rooted in gratitude, speaks to you, there's a beautiful book that carries this spirit forward in the kitchen. It's called Healthy Japanese Cooking, Simple Recipes for a Long Life, the Shoku-Iku Way. It's not just a cookbook. It's a quiet invitation to live better through food. With 70 calming recipes and stunning photos, it helps you bring the Shoku-Iku philosophy to your plate, a Japanese way of eating that aligns perfectly with the habits of Dr. Hinohara. No trendy ingredients, no complicated steps, just miso, tofu, rice, seaweed, pickles, and intention. If you want to feel lighter, sleep better, and move more freely as the years go by, this book might be a lovely place to begin. You'll find the link in the video description if you'd like to take a look. You don't need to live in Japan to eat like someone who still walks strong at 90. You just need to slow down, choose less, chew more, be present, and above all, eat not to be full, but to feel free. As Dr. Hinohara showed us, longevity is not a sprint. It's a quiet walk, taken one mindful meal at a time. If this message brought you peace, we invite you to subscribe. Here, we share more stories, traditions, and daily habits from Japan, all designed to help you feel strong, calm, and connected after 60. And if you're ready to explore the art of eating well, you'll find the book Healthy Japanese Cooking waiting for you in the description below. No pressure, just a gentle nudge toward something beautifully simple.